Kia ora everybody, Chris Farhi here from the Bayleys Insights and Data team. Got Ankur Dakwale today to talk about the biggest news in New Zealand real estate. Over to you, Ankur.
So first up, the Bayleys Commercial and the Bayleys Insights team held the Coworking Plus launch event at the Generator Space on Madden Street. At this event, we presented our findings from the Coworking Plus report for 2022, and we also had a panel of experts there from Johnson's Corner. There was Anand Belushi. We had Amy Brown from Generator, and we also have Erica Jury from IWG.
Also this week, the Bayleys Commercial team held their latest total property auction series, and so with this there were 15 properties that were put up for auction, 73% sale rate so far, with a couple of sales pending. In terms of some of the specific sales, we've got 293 to 297 Ponsonby Road in Ponsonby. So this is a low-rise retail on 366 square metres of freehold land. 3 tenancies, this sold for 3.4 mil on a 4.69% passing yield. We've got 12 bar 100 Don McKinnon Drive in Albany. This is a modern retail property. This sold for 1.78 million on a 6.36% yield. And then finally we've got P2 and P4 at 27 Union Street in Auckland CBD. And so these were 2 commercial units consented for live-work conversion. They were each sold separately, and they actually did these on dollar reserve auctions, and they sold for $310,000 and $340,000 respectively, with 20 bidders active on those properties. Now the one reserve auctions were actually pretty exciting, so the auctioneers were very specific about starting the first one at $1, and so initially started at $1. Second bidder came in hot at $100 and then got steamrolled at $50,000. So and then on to the sale with 46 bids in total. So pretty exciting session and a real big turnout on the day. So great work by the Bayleys Commercial team on that.
Auckland Council has notified of 3 plan changes. Now this is part of the whole intensification rules that are happening. So the plan change 78, 79 and 80 are going through. Plan change 78 is implementing government's housing intensification rule. 79 is amendments to the transport provisions to mitigate impacts of development to the transport network. And plan change 80 is adding new policies to improve the urban environment and qualifying matters that limit building heights and density in some areas.
Also pretty interesting because the media jumped onto the banning of sausage flats, and I'll be honest, I didn't even know what a sausage flat was, so I had to look that one up. But basically they're the old school long single level multi-unit properties that you'd see, and so they've banned those through the various urban design controls. And the devil's in the detail on that one, and we'll be sitting down with Wesley Gerber from our land development team to have a bit more of an in-depth chat about that topic shortly.
Next up, Zespri's reputation is under threat due to quality issues with some kiwifruit. At the Zespri's AGM, the CEO said the produce is the worst that he's seen in 20 years, and issues included being soft, stained, and rotten fruit. Farmers Weekly has suggested this could leave some growers at break even or even at a loss. Kiwifruit orchards are now one of the key segments in the horticulture property markets, and prices for orchard properties, particularly in the G3 Sungold varietal, have had massive growth over the last decade.
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see how the quality issues and the payouts start to flow through into those orchard prices as well. So next up, heading offshore, we've got our global partner Knight Frank, who just released their Singapore office review. The government in Singapore has actually gone through and banned new strata developments of commercial buildings within key parts of the city. And so basically what they're trying to do is ensure that commercial buildings remain in single ownership, and this was off the back of an observation that the buildings that had split ownership were then being poorly maintained and not upgraded over time because you didn't have a single owner to lead that. And so they've gone through and they've actually banned strata titling of commercial buildings in some key parts of the city. That was effective from March 2022, and their sort of wider strategic drive there is to ensure that Singapore remains a major global location for financial services. And so they see the quality of office buildings as actually playing into that, and the strata titling issue as potentially being a problem. So thought that was quite interesting. And then finally, to wrap up, we've got our property of the week. So Ankur, what have you got for us?
So my property of the week this week is the Bayleys listing at 1747 Korokipo Road in Fernhill in the sunny Hawke's Bay. This is a 10.938 hectare of productive soil with income of around 120,633 with 5-year leases. It is a perfectly located patch of land located in Hawke's Bay off State Highway 50. and this is tenanted by the award-winning Zephyr Cider Company that is committed to a new 5-year lease with built-in growth. And to learn more about this, please get in touch with Kerry Gange and Tim Wynne-Lewis from our Bayleys Hawke's Bay offices.
And then my property week is 46 Brunswick Street in Queenstown. So this is a 7,825 square metre parcel of freehold land, panoramic views across Lake Korokipo, short walk to downtown Queenstown, previously consented for a pretty large scale hotel and or mixed use development. And if you want to learn more about this one, you can talk to Ying Lu, Cheryl Williams or William Wallace from the Bayleys Frankton and Bayleys Christchurch offices. And so to wrap it up this week, we've actually got a special request from one of our British colleagues. Now, we've been told that all the British people out there are going to crack up laughing. I think all the Kiwis are going to go, what's going on? But anyway, so that's all we've got time for this evening. So it's good night from me.
And it's good night from him.
Cheers. Yeah.